Professor Zethkar's four eyes gleamed with scholarly excitement as he activated the holographic display in the center of the xenobiology classroom. The assembled students, a diverse collection of beings from across the Galactic Federation, leaned forward in anticipation. Today's lesson would cover one of the most fascinating and terrifying worlds in known space, Earth. "Class," Zethkar began, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. "Today we examine the apex predators of Terra 3, colloquially known as Earth. This death world has produced some of the most efficient killing machines in our database." The hologram flickered to life, displaying a massive creature with powerful jaws lined with razor-sharp teeth. Several students recoiled instinctively. "Behold the Terran wolf, Canis lupus. These pack hunters demonstrate remarkable intelligence, coordination, and ruthlessness. They can track prey across vast distances, enduring harsh conditions that would kill most civilized species. Their bite force exceeds 400 pounds per square inch, easily capable of crushing bone." A Veltarian student, her tentacles quivering nervously, raised a limb. "Professor, surely no sentient species could coexist with such monsters." Zethkar's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. But that's where it becomes truly fascinating. The dominant species of Earth, humans, not only coexist with these predators but have formed alliances with them spanning millennia. The class erupted in disbelieving chatter. The professor continued, cycling through images of other Earth predators. Bears that could tear through steel, great cats that could leap incredible distances, birds of prey with eyesight that could spot movement from miles away. Each of these creatures, Zethkar explained, represents evolutionary perfection in their respective niches. Yet humans, despite being relatively fragile omnivores with no natural weapons, have not only survived but thrived on this nightmare world. At that moment, the classroom door hissed open. A figure stepped through, bipedal, about average height for the room, with the distinctive features the class had studied in their xenobiology texts. A human. "Sorry I'm late, Professor," the human said, his voice carrying an odd musical quality that their translators struggled with. "Jackson Hayes, exchange student program. Traffic in the docking bay was murder." The class fell silent, staring at this specimen from the legendary death world. Jackson seemed remarkably relaxed for someone surrounded by beings who had just been studying his world's predators. "Excellent timing, Mr. Hayes," Zethkar said. "We were just discussing Earth's apex predators. Perhaps you could share your perspective on coexisting with such dangerous creatures." Jackson's facial features shifted in what the class recognized as a smile, a baring of teeth that, in most species, indicated aggression, but somehow seemed friendly on the human face. "Well, Professor, I actually brought someone with me today. She's been cleared by station security." Jackson touched a device on his wrist. "Lily, come here, girl." What entered the classroom next sent half the students scrambling for the exits. A creature matching the holographic wolf display padded into the room, but this one was real, breathing, and utterly massive. Her silver-gray coat rippled with each movement, muscles visible beneath the fur. Yellow eyes swept the room with predatory intelligence. The remaining students pressed themselves against the walls, emergency transmitters clutched in their appendages. Zethkar himself had frozen, his exoskeleton clicking with stress hormones, but Jackson merely knelt beside the beast and scratched behind her ears. "This is Lily," he said conversationally, as if he wasn't casually petting a creature that could tear apart everyone in the room. "She's actually a hybrid, part wolf, part domestic dog. I've had her since she was a pup." The wolf creature's tail moved in what they would later learn was called wagging, a sign of happiness and contentment. She leaned into Jackson's touch, eyes half closed in pleasure. "Impossible," whispered a Kretak student, his shell casing chattering. "The statistics clearly show these creatures are incapable of bonding outside their pack structure." But that's the thing about humans," Jackson said, still stroking Lily's massive head. "We don't really follow the rules other species think are absolute. Lily here doesn't see me as prey or competition. I'm pack, family." Professor Zethkar slowly approached, his academic curiosity overriding his survival instincts. "How is this possible? Our models suggest such a relationship would be unstable, dangerous." "Dangerous?" Jackson laughed, a sound that made several students flinch. "Professor, Lily saved my life more times than I can count. When I was 12, a bear wandered into our campsite. Lily placed herself between me and 800 pounds of angry predator without hesitation. She's loyal, intelligent, and protective. As if understanding the conversation, Lily turned her attention to the professor. Instead of the aggressive posture everyone expected, she simply sat, tongue lolling out in what was clearly a relaxed position. "She's beautiful," whispered a brave Altarian student. "Want to meet her?" Jackson asked. The student nodded eagerly despite the obvious terror in their bioluminescent patches. Under Jackson's guidance, the student approached slowly. Lily sniffed carefully, then allowed herself to be touched. Soon, more students gathered around, marveling at the soft texture of her fur and the gentleness in her powerful frame. "This is why humans are so remarkable," Professor Zethkar announced, his fear replaced by wonder. "They don't conquer their world's predators, they befriend them. They don't eliminate threats, they form partnerships. Where we see death and danger, they see potential companions." Jackson grinned, one hand resting on Lily's back as students took turns cautiously petting her. "Professor, you want to know the real secret about humans and Earth's predators? We're not the victims or the conquerors. We're family. Every species that survived the ice ages, the disasters, the changes, we all made it together. Cooperation isn't just our strategy. It's our nature." A Veltarian student who had initially fled now approached carefully. "But surely you must have weapons, defenses against the creatures that cannot be befriended." Jackson's expression grew serious for a moment. "Well, yeah. When something threatens our pack, our family, our friends, our loved ones, humans can be pretty terrifying ourselves. The same instincts that let us bond with Lily also make us incredibly protective. You really don't want to threaten something a human considers family." Lily chose that moment to rest her massive head against Jackson's leg, eyes closing contentedly. The gesture was so clearly affectionate that it redefined everything the class thought they knew about predator-prey relationships. As the lesson continued, students peppered Jackson with questions about human-animal relationships, pack dynamics, and survival strategies. Each answer revealed new layers of complexity in human society. A civilization built not on domination but on alliance, partnership, and mutual respect. When class ended, Professor Zethkar approached Jackson privately. "Mr. Hayes, this has been perhaps the most enlightening session I've ever conducted. Your species continues to surprise us." Jackson smiled, giving Lily one final pat. "Professor, if you think this is surprising, wait until you meet my roommate. She keeps 3 cats. Now those are apex predators who've really got humans figured out." As they left the classroom, Lily patting contentedly beside her human, the professor made a note in his files. "Humans, the only species to survive a death world by making friends with it."